Hi students, welcome to lesson 1.3, compare and order numbers. We're going to go over some vocabulary words first so that you're more familiar with them as we go through the lesson. Now you'll see a place value chart that looks exactly like this, and the chart is used so that you can place the digits like one number here and one number here so that you can compare the place values of the numbers that are given to you. The word compare is to point out or see what is similar. So in math, it is important to be exact. So we don't use big, bigger, or biggest. We say great, greater, or greatest. And few, fewer, and fewest. I want you to go ahead and take a look at this chart and pause if you need to know that, these words are comparing, and this means the most, and this means just what the description is. So 426 is greater, that means bigger, greater than 374, but 593 is the greatest out of all three of those numbers. All right, open your Go Math books to page 17. Now most of our benchmarks and end-of-year testing and our show what you know is another word for, quiz or test, but we want to actually mainly for you to show us what you know. That's why we call them that. But a lot of them have story problems, so I want you to really pay attention closely to the story problems because they are what you will work with the most and you have to solve them. Let's start here at the top. Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona had 651,028 visitors in July 2008 and 665,188 visitors in July 2009. In which year did the park have more visitors during the month of July? So we're going to take those two numbers and we're going to place them into this place value chart right here. And seeing that these have two different periods, these have two different periods, you're going to want to go ahead and write them. I like writing them with the ones place first, then the tens place, then hundreds, then thousands, then 10,000s, then 100,000s. So we wrote this number right there. We're going to go ahead and write this number down below. So again, starting with the ones place, it just helps you so that you don't lose track of your numbers. Not all the numbers that you compare are going to have the same amount of place value. So you want to make sure that you're plugging them in with starting at the ones place. So we're going to go ahead and put this number into the chart. Ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place, 100,000s place. Now it says start from the left, just like left to right, like we read a book. Compare the digits in each place value position until the numbers differ. Remember, differ means different, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these numbers. Now both of these numbers have 100,000, so we're going to start at the biggest place value. We notice that both of those have a 6, so we know that those are not going to be the clue to tell us which number is bigger. So then we go to the next largest place value. The top number has a 5, so they have 50,000, and the bottom number has a 6, which is 60,000. Well, 6 is larger than 5, so we know right away that this number right here, 665,188, is greater than 651,028. Remember, you can always pause, rewind, and re-listen and re-watch this video if you need to watch it so that you can get it a little bit better. That's one of the beauties about watching lessons. So like we said before, these two place values are the same, so they're equal. Now we went and compared here like I showed you in the chart above, and we can say that 5,000s is less than 6 10,000s. Now this is pretty much something that I want you to be able to do. Now some of the symbols, in case you don't know, this is less than, and if you look at it, it kind of looks like an L that's been squished. This is greater than, and then we all know the equal sign. But I always like this because it looks like a squished L. So L for less, less than. And so we know that since 651,028 is less than 665,188, there are more visitors in July 2009 than there were in July 2008. All right, go ahead and go to the next page, example 2. Now, we can also use a number line to help us keep our place value. So they've given us 10,408, they've given us 10,433, and they've given us 10,416. Now, they want us to do from least to greatest, and on the vocabulary, least is smallest, greatest is the biggest out of all of them. So we want you to go ahead and locate and label each point on the number line. The first one is done for you. So there is 10,408 because we know that this is 10,409, 10,410. So they want you to go ahead and plot these two. I want you to pause this video and plot those on the number line and count appropriately, and then push play when you're ready. Now, you should have these points appropriately plotted onto this number line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you why they were the way they were. We know that 10,433, so we find 10,430, 431, 10,432, 10,433 is right there. Same with this one, as we know this is 10,410, so 411, 412, 413, 413, 415, 416. So that's 10,416. The numbers read from left to right are closer to 0. So these numbers over here are closer to 0 on the number line. So you're going to have to know how to number these using a number line as well. That's just another tool that we can use. Here we are on the Sharon Show. Compare 15,327 to 15,341. Now, you can choose to do a place value box and plug those numbers in using the ones place first, and then see, so I'm plugging both of these numbers in if that's what you're wondering what I'm doing. Then again, you would start with the largest place value and start comparing the numbers. Remember, place value is how much it is worth. So we know here that here's our thousands place. So these right here would be our 10,000s. So we have one set of 10,000 on each of those. So that doesn't tell us anything because they're the same. So we go over to our thousands place. Again, those numbers are the same. So that doesn't give us any clue, and neither does the hundreds. Now here we are to the tens place. Now we need to compare the 2 to the 4. We know that that 4 is greater than 2, so that we know that 15,341 is greater than 15,327. So right here, this number comes first and this number is less than. So we're going to do that symbol because it looks like a squished L. You can also use this number line that's been provided. I find that it's easier to use the place value chart. It's easier to draw, it's easier to compare, you know, and the numbers are right on top of each other so that you can see them a lot better. But a number line is also very efficient if you can draw it correctly. So 15,327, well, we know that right here is 20. So we know that from each jump to line to the next line is 5s. So that's 15,325. And so we know we need to do 26, 27. So right there is 15,327. That is the first number that we've plotted. And then we have 15,341. Well, here's 15,340. All we have to do is just one jump there. So we know right here it's 15,341. So that tells us right there on a number line, because remember, the numbers over here are closer to 0. So we know that this number is greater because it's farther along on the number line. Now personally, I really do think that drawing a place value chart is just so much easier. All you have to do is draw a big rectangle that looks like this. And then you see here that there's 6 numbers and there's 6 numbers. So you need 6 boxes. Now in order to do that, you need to draw 5 lines going vertically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you do 1 down the middle, probably a lot nicer than what I just drew. There we go. And that way you can start plugging these 2 numbers in. Remember, start with the ones place just so that you don't lose your place, because sometimes that's easy to do. So we have $631,328. Now keep in mind there's a dollar sign on there because it's money. So I'm going to start with the ones place first. There's the 8, the 2, the 3, the 1, the 3, and the 6. Then I'm going to go ahead and plot this number here, 640,009. So 900, and we should probably put the commas there just so it's easier for us to read. 046. Again, we start with the largest place value. Those are both 6s, so that doesn't really help us give us any clue of which one is larger in value. But right here, we have a 3 and a 4. Well, we know that 40,000 is bigger than 30,000. So we know right off the bat right now that 640,009 is greater. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use this. Some people actually like to use this as like alligator jaws. I'm sure that's how you were taught in lower grades or previous grades. But just know that it is going to eat the bigger number. So if it helps you to draw those little teeth, then yeah, go right for it. But you will need to know that drawing a place value chart is really going to help you. And I'm going to guide you again one more time on how to draw this until you get used to it. Now, right here, we see that there's only 5 numbers. There's 3 in this period and 2 in this period. So remember, depending on how many boxes we only need 5 boxes, so you need to draw 4 lines. We always draw 1 less line than what we really need. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will give us 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's go ahead and plug in those numbers. Let's start with this one. 1, 9, 9, 6, 5. And then this number, 0, 8, 8, 2, and 5. Go ahead and pause this video, please, and find out the answer. Is this less than, greater than, or equal to? Because it could be equal. Now that kind of looks like a minus sign, but it is an equal sign. Sometimes those numbers are equal. Now, since we went to the thousands place because the 10,000s was the same, we can see that 6 is greater than 2. If we're looking here, 6 is greater than 2. Now remember, it's not just 6, it's in the thousands place, so it's 6,000. And it's just not a 2, it's 2 in the thousands place, so it's 2,000. So we can say in this statement that 6,000 is greater than 2,000, because it is greater by quite a bit. So we know that this number above 56,991 is greater. Now again, if it helps you to do the little teeth, then go for it. If you don't need to, you don't have to do it. Whatever helps you complete these in a successful way. I'd like for you to pause, and I want you to do number 4, 5, and 6 on your own. And when you push play, you will be able to compare your answers. Don't forget to draw your place value charts. You will need them. These ones have 6 numbers, so you're going to have to draw them with 6. This one has 6, and these ones have 5 in them. Go ahead and pause this video and do those problems. Go ahead and check your answers, but I do want to show you here why it's important to start in the ones place when you're writing in your numbers. As you can see here, we started in the ones place and wrote those numbers in the appropriate place. Here, we started from this, and whenever you have a number that's missing, a 0 goes there. So originally there is no 100,000s here, but here there's a 9. So you're saying there's 900,000, which there really isn't. So please do not write it this way, write it appropriately so that you can compare the numbers the right way. go ahead and start on your student practice and homework, and go ahead and fill out your Google Doc.